your first alert forecast from 15 News.
Well, happy Saturday. The time now is 5:51, and after a couple days spent above average in the 30s, we saw a high of 31 on Thursday, 38 yesterday for your Friday. The cold returns for the weekend, at least for the first half for your Saturday today. We saw a cold front sweep through yesterday. That is now positioned well to the south and east of here, and with clear skies under high pressure this morning, we are looking at a very chilly start to your Saturday. You can see clear skies throughout southern Wisconsin, and our current temperature in Madison right now is 7 degrees. So even though winds are light, that is the one thing that is on our side, not having to deal with that wind chill. It is going to be a very chilly start as you get out the door this morning, so make sure you're bundled up. Most spots you can see calm winds. We do have a few spots on the map with a little bit of a breeze coming in. 6-mile-per-hour winds down in Monroe. That is bringing that actual air temperature down to a wind chill value of 1 degree. So feeling more like 1 in Monroe with the actual temperature of 11. 7 degrees again, the temperature here in Madison. 8 degrees in Viroqua with a wind chill of -1. So just a few spots with a bit of a wind chill out there. But again, those winds will continue to be light as we head through the day under high pressure. Winds right now this morning are out of the north, but our high pressure is going to continue to skirt off to the east. As it does, winds will shift from the southeast and clouds will be on the increase as we head into the afternoon hours. This is 3 o'clock on your Saturday afternoon, and that is out ahead of a brief disturbance to bring just a very few snow flurries to the area late tonight. This is 10 o'clock this evening, so I do think not everyone is going to get in on this snowfall. It'll mainly be along and northeast of a line up from the Dells down to the Kenosha area, and even places that do see this brief time of snowfall tonight. It is going to be very light, bringing very minor impacts through the late evening hours and into early Sunday. Really only expecting a dusting up to a few tenths of an inch, and that is out of here by early Sunday morning. This is 7 a.m. We continue with dry conditions through the daytime hours on Sunday, but mostly cloudy skies. Southeasterly winds continuing to help us warm those temperatures up. We're back into the 30s, low 30s for your Sunday, and even warmer into Monday. This is a look at 9 a.m. We're already in the upper 20s here in Madison, so some very mild temperatures headed our way. We just got to get through a chilly Saturday today. 22 degrees for the high in Madison. That puts us 7 degrees below that average of 29. Most spots will be in the 20s. I think a few spots further to the northeast here in southern Wisconsin may keep highs in the teens, but most of us low to even mid and upper 20s to the far southwest. Overnight lows tonight will remain mild. We will be in the teens throughout southern Wisconsin. 18 degrees for the low in Madison under mostly cloudy skies. That sets us up for a mild Sunday tomorrow, a high of 31 degrees. Temperatures continue to warm into the beginning of the work week. Tuesday looking to be the warmest of the bunch with an approaching warm front. We will be seeing highs in the 40s both Monday and into Tuesday. And even as temperatures cool down back into the 30s through the rest of the week, those warmer temperatures remain the main weather headline with highs well above average to take us through the rest of the work week.